All right. Active Life PT and Rehab versus Mackinac Administrators LLC, 2500534. Your appearances, please.
Morning, Honor Tony Blackburn on behalf of the plaintiff, Active Life.
Good morning, Your Honor. Morgan Walters appearing on behalf of Defendant Mackinac.
All right. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to say? If so, speak now or forever hold your peace.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Good, Your Honor.
I got to tell you guys, I've read these cases more than I care to admit. I felt like I was studying for the bar exam in some ways. But anyway, here's Defendant Mackinac Administrator seeks summary disposition pursuant to MCR 2.116C10 on the claim of plaintiff Active Life Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, Inc. for no-fault benefits. Plaintiff is the assignee of Eric Watkins, and defendant is the servicing third-party administrator assigned by the Michigan Automobile Insurance Placement Facility / Michigan Assigned Claims Plan. On December 8, 23, claimant Watkins was involved in an automobile accident. He submitted an application for personal injury protection benefits to the MAIPF on December 18 of 23, seeking no-fault PIP benefits. He also submitted a claim for replacement household services per MCL 500.31071C, period. Replacement service sheets were filled out by two individuals, Stuart Mitchum and Bruce Bothera. Defendant asserts plaintiff is not entitled to no-fault benefits because claimant Watkins made significant misrepresentations regarding facts material to the claim for replacement services. Bruce Bothera testified during his deposition that he never assisted Mr. Watkins with chores. However, he did go on the scene. And this is on page 13 of his dep. I mean, I did basic chores and stuff like that, but I don't recall anything special. Watkins had been living with Bothera for a few months after the accident and was living with Watkins at his Utica Road address when the accident occurred. He stated, quotes, "I did the cooking, most of the cleaning. People just basically took care of their own stuff," end quotes. Mr. Bothera was shown the household replacement service form marked Exhibit A in his deposition. And when asked if it was his signature, he said, "I don't believe so. No," that's in quotes. When asked if he had any recollection filling out the document, he said, "I have no," quotes, "I have no idea what that is," end quotes. He said that that Watkins never offered to pay him for any of the services. Defendant argues that claimant knowingly presented false information in support of his claim for PIP benefits by submitting clear material misrepresentations in his claim for replacement household services in violation of MCL 500.3.173A, parents 4. In response, plaintiff argues that a genuine issue of material fact exists regarding whether any fraudulent act was committed in support of the claim for medical expenses, whether any alleged misrepresentation was material to plaintiff's claim, and whether a medical provider who is innocent can be denied compensation due to unrelated conduct of the claimant, here Mr. Watkins. The plaintiff cited Mills as well as Mills and City Express LLC, Mercy Transport, and Detroit Anesthesia Group PLLC as intervening plaintiffs versus Titan Insurance Company. The court would note that it is an unpublished opinion decided on August 8, 2017. There, the Court of Appeals affirmed the trial court's ruling dismissing the attendant care claims of the plaintiff based on fraudulent conduct, but which also declined to dismiss the claims of the intervening plaintiffs. Here, plaintiff argues the misrepresentation of claimant, if true, was actually $420 worth of replacement services only, so it is not material and therefore cannot constitute fraudulent conduct. Defendant cites, among other cases, Infinite Physical Therapy versus Nationwide, also an unpublished opinion decided on July 18, 24. There, the trial court had ruled as a matter of law that claimant was the owner of the individual vehicle and was not entitled to PIP benefits because he was uninsured. The service provider's claim for benefits against defendant insurer was dismissed, but that's entirely different as far as I can see than this case. That result makes perfect sense. It would be unjust to permit the claims of a service provider to continue against an insurer where the claimant was not entitled to any PIP benefits because he was an uninsured owner and therefore ineligible for benefits. In Shelton versus Auto Owners, 318 Mishap 648, defendant asserted Shelton made fraudulent statements concerning her need for replacement services and therefore was excluded by the policy from all PIP benefits. The trial court granted summary disposition in favor of defendant as to replacement services, a ruling which she did not appeal. The court denied the motion as to payment for medical services. Defendant appealed that ruling and the Court of Appeals affirmed. The court analyzed the contractual language in the insurance policy, and the court concluded that the plaintiff was not subject to the policy because his right to PIP benefits arose by statute as opposed to the policy language in that insurance contract, which stated, quotes, "We will not cover any person seeking coverage under the policy who has made fraudulent statements or engaged in fraudulent conduct with respect to procurement of the policy as to any occurrence," and they emphasize the word occurrence, "for which coverage is sought." In this case, the court finds that at a minimum, a genuine issue of fact exists as to whether a fraud occurred and whether Watkins participated in that fraud. There being a factual issue, I'm going to deny the motion, and I don't mind telling you, I'm not only doing it on that basis, I'm not entirely convinced that the service provider's claims fall where there's a fraud by a claimant. And I've read these and distinguished these in my own brain. So I'm denying the motion. I'll ask you to prepare an order, Mr. Blackburn. Now we can do one of two things. I'm going to leave it up to you two. You can either, how much is this claim for, Mr. Blackburn?
After the fee schedule adjustment, $4,400.
Why don't I'll give you guys a choice. If you want to file motions in limine and then have a settlement conference and do whatever else, I'll be glad to let you do that. If either one of you want to do that, that's fine. If it's only $4,400, maybe we can just do a settlement conference. I'll set it up now for sometime this week. Over $4,400, unless you want to come here, you don't have to come here. We'll do it on Zoom. I'll put you in breakout rooms and I'll do it this way for you. So you guys tell me your preference. This is really, in my view, an interesting issue. I feel like I could make a case, whatever. Anyway, you guys want to do that, or you want to file your motions in limine and go the whole 9 yards? It's up to you.
I'll defer to defense counsel.
I'm fine with us just doing a settlement conference over Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me just ask a couple questions here. Lisa or I'm sorry, can you put Jennifer on there?
I'm on, Judge.
Oh, well, who do I have? I don't know if I'm available this afternoon. I have no idea what I have.
Okay, well, we do have currently a settlement conference scheduled November 3rd.
I know.
Okay.
I don't want to make them, no. Okay. Yeah. Am I available at say 1:30, 1:45? And if so, are you two?
I am not, Your Honor.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. Let's talk about what do I have tomorrow afternoon? I've got
You've got trial tomorrow afternoon. Yep.
Okay. What about Wednesday afternoon? I've got severity court.
And a trial.
Oh.
And then Thursday afternoon you have an evidentiary hearing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't on here. I've got a trial on Wednesday?
Yes.
Is that what time?
1. And then you have
what case is that?
It's William Brush. Looks like a Woodhaven case.
What about Friday morning? Are you guys available Friday morning?
You're open Friday morning.
I am.
We are not available Friday morning, Your Honor.
You know what? Let's just do it on the 3rd. You guys don't have to file anything. I'll move the trial for you. Okay. It's not that old of a case. How many months is this, Jen?
Let me pull it up really quick. And trial right now is the 24th.
I know.
Okay.
So let's do it on Monday. What time was I gonna do that with them?
Monday, the 3rd.
At 8:30, Your Honor.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
make it at 8:30 sharp, and I'll do it then. Just have your clients available by phone. I might ask them to Zoom, your client to Zoom in. But we'll just have them available by phone. I'll see you guys next Monday. Prepare the order if you would, Mr. Blackburn. Thank you both.
Will do.
Thank you, Your
you.
Honor. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Morgan. I'll take
Thanks. Diane Marie Sturgill, 25W836-193. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take it easy.
Morning, Your Honor. It's Yellow here. Along with co-counsel, we've got it told.
Ma'am, your name? All right, so I have a charge here, possession of controlled substances. She was positive for a cocaine metabolite allegedly with regard to a test of October 2. What is she going to do here?
Going in her plea guilty, may I present to you a confidential analysis that she's seeing her underlying issues. She reached the finish line and then ran backwards. Judge, she was near the end of getting off of this charge, and there are underlying issues where she sought the support. It has nothing to do with an addiction.
I understand. Call Jessica.
May I present this to
You can. Ma'am, do you understand what your lawyer has said?
Yes.
You are here on a first technical violation. If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty here, you could be incarcerated for a period of 5 days. Do you understand that? And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you will be giving up all those rights and there will be no hearing. Do you understand that? Did you file an appearance post-judgment?
I think I did last week.
Okay, good enough. All right, so this is how you wish to proceed, correct, ma'am? You understand if you plead guilty, you're giving up all those rights?
Yes.
All right, to the charge that you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs, testing positive for a cocaine metabolite on a test of October 2 of 25. How do you plead? Did you in fact consume cocaine, say, within the 10 days before that?
How many days? How many days?
3.
Okay, but it was within 10 days of October 2, right? And you consumed cocaine knowingly, correct? Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
All right, I'm gonna accept your plea, find it to be an accurate plea, made voluntarily and understandingly. Mr. Zelnick, give me 1 second. Let me look at this. Your name? Tell me what her issue was. What prompted this? This is bad. You got to get away from cocaine. That's bad stuff, right? What was it, Mr. Zelnick? Under what circumstances?
She was convinced to use cocaine by she went out with it that evening. It relates to a previous issue she had that she didn't raise with probation when she was 16% seeing, and it's something she'd rather not reveal and open the court to on her, that has traumatized her. And this fellow talked her into it, and she got caught. She's owned up to it.
She was ready to.
I sent her to a new therapist trying to address what I think are ancillary issues, not just the use of cocaine.
Did I? So she was sentenced on April the 2nd of 25, right?
That's what I have. Yeah. April 2nd of 2025.
How often is she testing?
Right now, she's testing on twice monthly.
And when is she scheduled to have her testing decreased further?
Testing is supposed to be decreased to once monthly beginning next month, November 10th.
Ma'am, is there anything you would like to say?
I just want to apologize for disappointing, you and also my family. And I'm also disappointed in myself because I was doing really good and I shouldn't have let, the pressure, I guess, get to me. And I just hope that you can consider that too, please. Thank you.
All right. Can I hand you this document? It's from Counseling Therapy Associates. I just want you to take a look at that, and if you tell me if you have anything else that you'd like to say after you take your time.
No, this is good. I mean, if she's compliant otherwise, Judge,
I understand.
she was very honest about her youth, was very honest about the mistake. I've had no issues with her previously. Everything else is completed. She did have days on the Soberlink device she completed. She was at weekly testing prior, appeared to every test, never missed a test. It was negative for all of them except this most recent one. She was in outpatient services substance abuse. She technically did complete that. I'm glad to see that she's now re-enrolled. I think that's a good idea for her to get re-enrolled in substance abuse treatment. Victims impact panels completed and all 48 hours of community service are done.
Good. Anything else over here that you want to say?
Just want to let you know, there's a corollary counseling that you seek along with substance abuse.
Good. Pay additional, I'm going to keep you on probation. Pay additional costs of $100. Serve 1 day on the court work program and pay $35 for that. Test weekly for 2 months. And if you're clean, I'll make it bi-weekly then for 4 months, and then I'll revert it to monthly. Defendant to attend treatment. Can you just give me the initials of that place?
CTA.
CTA. Okay? I wish you well.
Thank
Can you pay that today?
Yes.
Don't do this again, okay?
You guys see me tell the phone on.
Well, I hope she's still at some point with nothing. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Thank you. Jamie Lenore Pratt. 23W832353A and B. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. The COP 82378 on behalf of Ms. Pratt. Ms. Pratt, state your name for the report.
You have to start your video, ma'am.
Pratt, Jamie Pratt.
What do you think I'm thinking?
She stands mute and waves reading, Your Honor.
Did she just, hang on, ma'am? I don't know where you are. You're gonna have to stop. I need to see you. You're not driving, right?
No,
You're just-
I'm not driving. I'm stable.
Where has she been? Where has she been? She just called up today, Lisa, said cancel the warrant. I want to go in front of the judge when she was supposed to be here. This case been going on since 23, Ms. Pratt.
Okay.
All right? It's way too old for me.
It's just a warrant. Everything that the case was about, I did the first ticket. I have my license. It's just a warrant that's holding me up. Anything that's involved in this case has been done.
It's just a warrant. Is that what you said?
It's just a warrant. That's the only thing that has to be there. I have my license are valid. That I don't even have that car, but I got the headlight fixed like within the week of me getting the ticket. I did not know I had to bring it back to Woodhaven.
Ma'am, I'd suggest that you at least acknowledge. I know it's impossible for some people to say.
Acknowledge what? That I got the ticket. I did get the ticket. My headlight was out. My license was suspended. I'm not denying that. And I've done everything to correct that.
Give her a new date. We're going to give her a new date for an arraignment and pretrial. Defendant has to appear in person.
I'm upset, but that's not going to be able to happen.
Well, then you're going to have a warrant issued for your arrest again, okay? You're going to have a warrant issued for your arrest again.
Because I can't come into the courts because I'm in another state.
I don't want to, listen, I don't want to do anything to inconvenience you here. I don't want to inconvenience you.
This is why.
Give her an in-person date. I'm not going to play this game.
Me either.
November 12th at 8. She's gone, Judge.
Good. November 12th at what?
November 12th at 8:30.
What an attitude. What an attitude. Case is outstanding since 23, and it's just a warrant. So she stood mute on both. I'm giving her a new date. She didn't allow me to set the bond. I'll set the bond when she comes in, okay? So November 11th. Wow. November 12th at 8:30. Jeez, what is happening? Huh? Can you tell me what's happening?
No, Judge.
I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know. I don't. Godfrey,
Thank you.
Richard J. Godfrey, 25F244515. Good morning, Mr. Haynes.
It's tough on the follow.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe he's gonna yell at me too. You never know. Of course, they're not as brave when they're in person, are they? Your name, sir?
Richard Godfrey.
All right, so Mr. Godfrey here, we adjourned the sentence. What happened is, well, let's back it up. He pled guilty on September 29th, the failure to submit. September 16th and 18th. And now I've got, calling Jessica, I've got failed to submit the biweekly testing, which was ordered on September 16th. And failure to submit the biweekly testing is ordered on September 18th. So,
He had already pled guilty to those.
right,
Returned to the sentence.
I know. So I'm gonna get Ms. O'Donnell in here. Has he been testing since then? Do you know?
No, so the issue was a matter of, I guess what we call shy bladder syndrome.
Did he go and get a medical excuse?
Well, he went to the doctor, he said the doctor refused to give him that authorization.
Basically looks at me and said, no, I'm not gonna do that, and walked out of the room. Yeah, I explained the whole situation to them, and they said, no.
Did we talk about this with possibility of a pat down search? Did we talk about that?
What,
A pat down before he tests?
we didn't talk.
If you don't have a medical document that tells me you have shy bladder syndrome, I can't conclude that you have shy bladder syndrome. Listen, please.
I understand that.
The idea that you're not going to test is not good. It's not gonna happen. Hang on. It's not gonna happen. I'm just telling you, it's not gonna happen. You called Jessica, right?
Yeah, shut him up.
How many other tests has he missed since then? Or not tested?
This schedule is. That was 4 weeks ago, roughly.
All right.
Just go on.
He didn't test.
So he did appear for testing. He appeared for testing on October 16th. He tried and he again was a CNU on that day.
You can't pee in front of somebody. You can't pee in front of somebody, urinate in front of somebody. Is that the issue?
They think the cup closed, you got 30 seconds.
Listen,
Yeah, no, I can't. If there's somebody not standing there, I still couldn't do it. I've had that problem my whole life. Told you.
is DNA open today? Sir, you're going to have to test. You're going to have to test. Even though there's no shy bladder syndrome, and I always require a diagnosis of that for a pat down,
Yes.
defendant to test today or first available date. Defendant permitted to have pat down search before testing.
Select them to allow him to just like give him more time because even with the pat down.
Yes, I mean, tell them, be reasonable. I find it hard to believe that they're not being reasonable. He's the only one that's come in here and said gave you 30 seconds. I mean, I can only tell you if I don't have a test, it's not gonna be nice. I'm giving you every benefit of the doubt here.
I understand that.
I'm giving you every benefit of the doubt there. I'll underline it, bold it. That's what's happening. You got to test, period. If not, you're going to have to go do blood work and you're not going to be able to afford that. I'm telling you. How much is a blood draw?
Honestly,
Predict couple $100.
It's over $100.
It's more than that. So we'll adjourn the sentence. Hang on, John, I'm sorry. Adjourn the sentence about a week out or 10 days out, or when Mr. Haynes is here again, Lisa, you got to test. Okay? I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. You're going to come back here and you're going to test positive. Okay, okay, good. Then we'll all be happy.
What, 76 days?
Good. Lisa, you got it. When are you available?
Judge, I've got arraignments next week on the 3rd, and then I'm doing over the phone on the 13th.
You think we can get that test?
Yeah.
By the 3rd, I mean.
Yes, you can be able to test this week.
By the 3rd, we'll adjourn it to the 3rd at 8:30. Is that good?
That's fine.
Okay. Adjourn it. Is that good, Lisa?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Go talk to her. Thank you. She'll tell you when they're testing. All right. Good morning. People Against Asia, Kashmir, temp 25B 726-170. Detective, your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. Detective Crystal Tulas, Brownstown Police Department.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole truth. So help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Your Honor, on October 26th of 2025 at approximately 3:26 a.m., officers were dispatched to 21544 Kings Point Boulevard, apartment 205 in Brownstown Township regarding a female complainant reporting that she was just strangled by her child's father. Upon arrival, Officer Bilecki conducted the investigation. He spoke with Asia Kemp, who stated that she was strangled by a male in the residence, Raymond Johnson, prior to police arrival. Ms. Kemp had a small scratch on her neck, but no other injuries or evidence of strangulation. She claimed she could not breathe when she was strangled by Johnson. However, she indicated that she did not lose consciousness. She stated she did not wish to press charges. Officer Bilecki then spoke with Mr. Raymond Johnson, who showed Officer Bilecki a cell phone video of the incident that took place prior to police arrival. That video showed Ms. Kemp sitting in bed before quickly standing up and physically attacking Mr. Johnson. The video ends as soon as she makes contact with Mr. Johnson. Looking at the metadata of the video, Officer Bilecki was able to determine that it was taken on October 26th of 2025 at 3:21 a.m., only 4 minutes prior to the creation of the dispatch emergency call. Mr. Johnson described being punched by Ms. Kemp several times and had several small cuts on his upper chest. He denied strangling her during this incident and indicated he wanted to pursue charges. Ms. Kemp and Mr. Johnson have 2 children in common and reside together at the 21544 Kings Point Boulevard, apartment 205 address. According to both parties, they're also married, although they never got a marriage license. So they are still legally single. Ms. Kemp was subsequently placed under arrest for domestic violence. She has no priors for domestic violence or related arrests or convictions.
Based on your sworn testimony, I find the crime of domestic violence was committed. There's probable cause to believe the crime was committed by the defendant and authorized the issuance of the complaint and warrant. And I'll note that you signed the complaint, the court is signing and dating the complaint and the warrant for the arrest of the defendant. Your appearance?
COP 82378 on behalf of Ms. Kemp.
Ma'am, your name, please?
Asia Kemp.
All right.
As to the agreement, she stands being away reading around. As to bond, it's to the officer said in terms of the children, they do share 2 minor children together. Miss Kemp is breastfeeding one of those children. That child is 8 months old. The other child is 2 years old. Miss Kemp is not employed. She's a stay-at-home mom. I do see in the criminal history, there's something out of Dearborn Heights, but Miss Kemp indicated to me that she was already put on probation for that, and she just owes some money. So she has a hearing date in November for that. Other than that, I didn't see any other criminal history. I would be asking for a personal bond so that she can at least get back to her children, because she does have some.
Where's she going to see her children then?
Well, the father, to my understanding, has the children now, or her mother, or the children's father's mother. So when she's released, she won't have to get the children from Mr. Johnson. She can get the children from either of the grandparents. If she does have somewhere to go.
I think I'm going to set this up for tomorrow. What is your position on bond here, Detective? Anything?
Your Honor, we leave it in the court's discretion. We would just ask that she not be permitted to return to 21544 Kings Point Boulevard, apartment 205 in Brownstown. We'd also ask for a no contact order with Mr. Johnson.
And as I stated, that she does have another address in Westland, her mother's home that she can go to when released.
$1,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without consent. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. No contact with Raymond Johnson except to effectuate visitation with the minor child. No contact. No no contact with prosecution witnesses except through your lawyer. You're not to go back to 21554 Kings Point Boulevard in Brownstown. You'll be allowed one visit and one visit only to obtain your personal belongings accompanied by a police officer. You're not to possess firearms. You're not to possess dangerous weapons. I'm hoping that somebody can take her out there today or meet with her out there today and hopefully referee anything between her and Mr. Johnson. So that she can take the children if it's agreeable. I'm setting this for tomorrow for a pretrial tomorrow, just in case. I think we need to do that. Lisa, what do you have for me tomorrow?
October 28th at 9:30.
Okay, ma'am, that's the best I can do. So you'll have to come here tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. And if you want a petition for a court-appointed lawyer, you'll have to fill one out. The detective will give you one and you fill that out and it'll be sent over. Okay, you're entitled to a lawyer at the first appearance free of charge, but after that, you have to be indigent. Okay? So that's the best I can do. I'd like to help you with your kids by the same token. I don't want you two having any contact right now. Are you okay?
She just wants to get back to her children, Judge.
Well, I know, but what can I do?
No, but she can now.
Yeah, she can now, but I'm hoping that you guys can help her work this out, officer. Ma'am, are you okay?
Oh, I thought I'm going to throw up.
All right. Can you set her up where she can go out there and see him today, get her things out and get the kids out or at least work out some kind of.
Your Honor, I'll talk to the sergeant that's on duty today about doing that.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, ma'am. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks a lot. Get her a water or something. She looks like she's going to pass out. Popovsky, Gabrielle Christine Popovsky, file 25W838818A. I'm going to have Ramirez and Langmeyer seated at the table up here. Or either table. Nope, you come up to the podium, ma'am. Your name?
Gabrielle Popovsky.
So you're charged with failure to attend the court work program on October the 11th.
Yeah.
And failure to submit the monthly testing is ordered on October 14th.
Yeah.
Hang-
For both of them.
Hang on 1 second. If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty, so you've missed the court work program October 11, monthly failed to appear for monthly testing on October 14th. If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty, you could get 10 days in jail. I'm just telling you that. 1 day, 5 days for every violation. Do you understand that? And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will be no hearing. Do you understand that? You have the right to a lawyer. If you want one, I'll give you. You want a lawyer?
Yes, please.
For 12 minutes.
You gotta take it out of here, sir, please.
Cover it up.
No, I got one it out now. Signs all over the building.
Yeah. Please.
I'll enter a not guilty plea for you. I will give you a lawyer and we will take care of that today, okay? Popovsky, Gabrielle Christine Popovsky. 25W838818A. Did you already meet with a lawyer?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes, your appearance?
Everything's been Ms. Kowski.
I'm gonna need Ms. Tessino in here. Your name, ma'am?
Gabrielle Popovsky.
The charge is failure to attend the court work program on October 11th. Also failure to submit the testing is ordered on October 14th. I arraigned her. She said she wanted a lawyer. I entered a not guilty plea. How is she going to proceed?
Judge, I wanted to wait and see when Ms. Tino got here. She did miss these things, but she had pretty good reasons for missing them. She had tried to email Ms. Tino. So I wanted to see if Ms. Tino wanted to still support the violation. If she does, she would.
I'll let you talk to Ms. Tessino. How's that? Okay, thanks. Popovsky. Gabrielle Christine Popovsky, 2588388188. Your name? Counsel? Ma'am, your name?
Gabrielle Popovsky.
So what are we gonna do on this?
I'm gonna dismiss count one. She sent me an email, it didn't go through, and then she later sent it to me, so I will dismiss count one.
What's gonna happen to count two?
She'll plead guilty to count two, and then there's another one that I missed before that was added. The pending case, but it's not adjudicated. But she did pick up a no offense.
Not good.
Picking up.
So you got three charges.
Technically two if I dismiss count
I
one.
get it. So she is going to, so probation is going to move to dismiss count one. And what is she going to do with the remaining two counts? She's going to plead as to count two. What about the failure to refrain from violating a law?
Judge, the new offense is an automatic violation, but that case is still pending, so
Yeah.
our city guilty to violating crime. Don't quite there yet. She was pushing guns at chest in the courtyard. Or we can hold that one back and she could just stay to the count two at this point.
If you plead to get count two, ma'am, that's a technical violation. You don't have any priors. You could get 5 days. If you're convicted on the other charge, that's a non-technical violation. You could get 93. Do you understand that? Did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights?
Yeah.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Is the count two that you failed to submit the monthly testing as ordered on October 14th? How do you plead? Failed to appear for testing on that day?
Yes, I want the next morning.
Anybody force you to plead guilty? I'm entering a not guilty plea. As to count three, I'm dismissing count one, motion to probation officer. I'm accepting the plea. Count two. She's only been on probation for 3 months. This is not good. Can I see the screening report? I mean, you can always,
We only have her testing monthly right now, that's my concern. And then I was gonna see if maybe you wanted to consider changing her alcohol class to treatment. Just while we see how this pans out. I think there's probably more going on than we initially
of
realized.
course.
Judge, if I may, regarding the test from the court, she was on her way to the test. She brought a receipt of her passport time on the way to the test. She tested the next day and did the ETG and 5% results were negative for both of those on the 15th.
Does she have a court date on the other case yet?
It up like, I think Wednesday last week and nothing. They did send me the police report, but there's no court date when I looked it up yet. It occurred, yeah, 24th.
You should get the police report. I'm setting a sentencing date. Did we set the other one on November 3?
Yeah.
When's the other date? You said November 13th?
13th and 17th, I'm on your violator day. I think that's the one.
Let's set this for November 13th. You acquire the police report. You should amend the charge.
I have the police report.
Good. You can add another charge, failure to refrain from consuming alcohol on that date. There's no reason I can't go forth with that. No reason I can't. PO to amend. We'll set all of that then, Lisa. Give me a time, if you would, please, on the 13th. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry,
8:30.
at 8:30. Okay, ma'am?
Do you want to keep her testing monthly?
No, I'm gonna do this, actually, as a condition of your bond, defendant to beat, and this is gonna be $1,000 personal bond. You're not only to comply with all terms and conditions of probation, you are to be on a Soberlink device by the end of the day and test weekly. Do you understand that? So we're going to have you do that. So that's a condition of your bond. So Soberlink by the end of the day, you're going to have to come up with some money and they're going to send you out to Livonia, right? Warrant. We're always changing. How much is it again? Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then you come back here for sentencing on that later date. Any questions? All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Catherine, I'll just do it. Catherine Alicia Rose Messner, 25I-724-704. Your name? Detective? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can now, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all right. Your name?
Detective Susan Delpiez.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you give in these proceedings to be the whole true self you got.
I do.
Go ahead.
On July 10, at approximately 1800 hours, Lieutenant Counts along with Patrol Benson were dispatched to 27285 East River Road for a report of a domestic assault in progress. Per dispatcher, the caller's daughter had assaulted her and she, the caller, had locked herself in the car to get away. Deputy Chief Brozak also called out that he was responding to the location. Upon arrival, Lieutenant Count observed the suspect walking away from a vehicle that was parked in the home circular driveway, preparing to enter the home. Lieutenant Counts made contact with the suspect, who was yelling expletives directed at her mother, the victim, from the doorway. Upon contact, Lieutenant Counts instructed her to sit on the home stairs, which were located just feet from the front door. Lieutenant Counts had previous interactions with the suspect in which she was heavily intoxicated, and on today's date, she again was displaying signs of heavy intoxication, which were clear lack of coordination, mood swings, inability to focus enough to hold a basic conversation, slurred speech. After having the suspect, Catherine Messner, sit on the stairs.
Can you slow down 1 second?
Sure.
Where's the warrant at? I don't have a warrant in this file.
I have it here, Judge. Would you like me to resend it?
Yeah, unless they didn't fill out all the pages, you're gonna have to send that over, okay?
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, go ahead.
After having the suspect, Catherine Messner, sit on the stairs, she was asked what's going on, to which she responded, what isn't going on, that her dad had died, that her mother, the victim, is, quote, a fucking bitch, and that the victim isn't a good mother. Upon further question, it was learned that the suspect father passed away approximately 2 years prior and had no bearing on today's incident other than as a means for the suspect to emotionally harm the victim. Lieutenant Counts eventually asked the suspect, "What brings us, the police, here today?" The suspect went off on multiple relationship tangents that had no bearing on today's incident, but eventually shared the information related to her mother refusing to drive her to her doctor's appointment. Lieutenant Counts asked Catherine if either of them had put their hands on each other, and she stated that they had not on this date, but that her mother, the victim, has in the past. Due to obvious intoxication of the suspect, Lieutenant Counts asked her how much she had to drink, in which she responded, 2 White Claws. Lieutenant Counts, concerned that her level of intoxication was significantly higher than the result, consuming 2 drinks, requesting Catherine to take a PBT, to which she agreed. While awaiting Patrol Benson to retrieve a PBT, Catherine made a spontaneous statement that during their argument, she had stated to the victim that she, the victim, should, quote, suck a dick, and that maybe if she had, her father, the victim's deceased husband, would still be alive. Catherine submitted to a PBT with a result of 0.376. Due to the high level of intoxication and the potential that the suspect's blood alcohol level may be still rising, EMS was requested to take Catherine to the hospital for evaluation. Lieutenant Counts then spoke to the victim, Susan Mesner. Per the victim, she was in the home waiting for Catherine so they could drive her to her treatment program. When Catherine came downstairs, clearly intoxicated, the victim, Susan, confronted Catherine about her intoxication. Catherine responded by asking Susan if she was going to go in and tell them, referring to the counselors, or words to that effect, to which Susan stated that she would and went to the car to await Catherine. While Catherine entered the car, she started swearing and insulting Susan and grabbing Susan's arm. Susan demanded that the suspect let go of her, and eventually she was able to exit the car. As she got into the rear of the car, Catherine confronted her and grabbed both of Susan's arm near the upper forearm. Susan was able to grab one of Catherine's finger and bend it backwards, which resulted in Catherine letting go of Susan's arm. Susan then went back to the driver's seat of the car and attempted to close the door. However, Catherine prevented her from closing the door and grabbed Susan's collar to pull her from the vehicle. Susan pushed Catherine, resulting in Catherine falling down onto the grass. Susan then closed the car door, locked it, and called the police. During conversation with the victim, what appeared to be a fresh skin tear was observed on her upper left forearm. This area was consistent with the area grabbed by Catherine. However, Susan has a skin condition on her arms and was unsure if the injury was caused by Catherine. The injury, along with the suspect were photographed by Patrol Benson and the photos placed in evidence. Catherine was not placed under arrest due to the level of intoxication, but was sent by ambulance to South Shore Hospital for medical evaluation. Susan was provided a victim's rights form and a written statement, which she completed and returned to the Grosio PD shortly after the run. Her criminal history consists of an OWI in 2007, in which she pled guilty, and a alcohol consumption on highway in Wyandotte in 2017, which was dismissed. And she had another domestic violence case with us in 2009 with the same victim, which was dismissed at that time.
Based on your testimony, I'll find the crime of domestic violence was committed. There's probable cause to believe the crime was committed by the defendant. I'm going to ask you to send that warrant over and then stay on and make sure that we got it and everything's fine, okay?
Okay, do you want me to send it via email, sir?
Yes, where you want him to send it to Lisa at 3?
Yeah, that's fine. Lisa@33court.com.
Lisa at 33court.com, okay? And then
Okay.
just mute yourself or whatever and stay there, and I'll make sure we got it, and I'll go back on record on that and put it on
Okay.
and I got it, okay?
No problem.
Thank you. Go back on record on Messner. Catherine Alicia Rose Messner, 25I-724-704. Detective, your name?
Detective Delpiaz?
I went ahead and we have it. I'm going to go ahead and set a $200 bond. And I'm signing the warrant, so I have the warrant as well. I've signed the complaint, signed the warrant. We're all set. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, there you go. Thank you. Erica Warren, Jesse Joseph. All right, if you two would stand for me and raise your right hands, please. Swear that testimony in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. Ms. Warren, you had previously had a protection order regarding Mr. Joseph, is that correct? And when did that expire?
August 19th.
Okay. And subsequent to that, Mr. Joseph, I think you said on the 12th of October, you were sitting in your car and you look up and he's at your car?
Right.
And had you done anything to indicate to him that your desire not to have him contact you had changed?
No, I was hoping that I would never see him again.
And since the 12th of October, has anything happened?
He came by again on October 13th on Monday evening, knocked on my door, left a 3-page typed letter.
And then subsequent to that, anything since?
No.
Okay. Mr. Joseph, anything you want to say?
Yes. I did stop by her residence because of the prior incident. I felt like I should make amends somehow. And in that event, I did leave $300 and that itself. Because I need to clear my own conscience. So that's kind of what happened. On the same note, I would say on maybe like the 17th, I received a retaliation of some sort. My windows were shattered with the golf club on the front and side. And my car was doused in gas. I am trying to correct myself, but I guess I have to excuse the behaviors for that peace and clarity. And so that's kind of where I'm at this point. I don't. I'm just going to maintain that and leave it at that because I tried to rectify and try to pay my homage, and that's kind of where it's at. Move forward.
Do you believe Ms. Warren was behind do you think she did the damage to your car?
I don't think she did it personally. I think either her kids did it or somebody else.
Okay, did you report it to law enforcement?
I did report it to law enforcement.
And have they determined who did it?
They did not. They just did it on their own.
Okay.
Pictures, and then I also have pictures of the envelope that I gave. It was $300.
Okay. And Ms. Warren, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
I did submit a letter. I'm not sure if you received it. Just with a timeline of events and how this stalking harassment situation with Mr. Joseph has affected me. This started in December of 2023 when we met. It was a really long and traumatic year of having my property damaged. Him coming back has been so disruptive because I am fearful of him and because my family is fearful of him. I don't want to ever see him again. I'm also worried about, he's got pretty alarming behaviors in the way that he circles my neighborhood and lurks behind the privacy hedges near my home. And I don't know what he's waiting to do. I don't know if he was coming to slash my tires again. And I am medicated for the first time in my entire life. because of the stress and anxiety that this has caused. And I just want it to stop. I feel like a year was not long enough the first time for him to come back and to want to make amends after causing thousands of damage worth of damage on my property. I had to replace my 4-year-old vehicle. You know, I don't know what the escalation will be. And I mean, I'm taking measures as I just installed a 7-foot fence around the other side of my yard where he tends to lurk. And I cannot keep having this enter my life, and it affects me and my kids and family.
Your Honor, the lurking wasn't, it's not, I wasn't lurking now. When I went to greet her, so I kind of had to think about
They weren't let me back in, but they did.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Also, I was thinking, I watched the video a couple of times prior to that. There's cars that she said that was mine. It's not mine. That was on the video, and then I never poured gasoline to her. I messed with the gas tank. So I think there's somebody else that's doing this, but I wouldn't pour gasoline on anybody's vehicle because that to me initiates some form of
whether that allegation is accurate or not doesn't really play into my view of this, Mr. Joseph. As somebody who's previously had a protection order, Ms. Warren had made it clear that she didn't want contact from you, and then the next thing, the order expires, and then you're coming up to her sitting in her car, which could be a frightening experience when you haven't alerted her that you're going to be coming to see her. And then she clearly, you could understand how she might be frightened by that. And then the follow-up to go to her house and knock on her door when she's had this one frightening experience, and then followed up the next day by a subsequent one. It's hard for me not to see that as understanding that you have frightened her. So you may have innocent intentions, but I see it differently. It just appears like it's an attempt to frighten her. I'm going to enter the order today. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of Ms. Warren, her house, her vehicle, her children. You'd have no contact with any of them, not harm any of them. And Ms. Warren, we're going to have this order in effect this year for 2 years from today's date. We put limits on it because we can't have our law enforcement system jammed with orders that never go away. But what I'll say, Mr. Joseph, is there is a 2-year limit on this order. But Ms. Warren, and I will state this in very clear terms, does not want you to contact her ever. So if after 2 years and the order expires, you come to contact her to say you want to make amends, no, that's not an acceptable response. She's made clear. So if you do that and you have another contact with her after the expiration of this order, the court would likely enter just a lifetime order, frankly, if that is to happen. We'll make copies of this order and give you each copies as well.
May I ask 2 questions? Are you able to issue a permanent no trespass on my property?
I could make the order permanent. I chose not to. Can I separate part of the order from another part of the order? No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Trespass is a crime in and of itself. You don't need an order to tell somebody they can't come onto your property if you've not given them your authority. Mr. Joseph is hearing me say that, so he understands that to come onto your property without your permission is potentially chargeable as trespass. So if he comes onto your property and you haven't given him your authority to do so, you're free to call law enforcement. That answered your question?
Yeah, and then I also wanted to ask about ordering reimbursement for the service fee and for lost wages. I've been off of work for 2 weeks, unable to leave my home.
Yeah, that is possible under the statute. I tend not to do that. And I understand you've suffered a loss here, but at this point, I'm not going to order that. If we have to come back here, then on either a violation of the order or some other request after 2 years, you can make that request again and I could reconsider it.
Okay.
Donna Smith, Daniel Kalich.
Here, Your Honor.
Smith. Mr. Kalich, need to activate your audio and video.
Here, Your Honor. Here, Your Honor.
Okay, both raise your hands for me. Ms. Smith, raise your right hand, please. Yes, thank you. Swear the testimony in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Smith, you and Mr. Kalich used to have a relationship?
Correct. It was a business relationship.
Okay. And you indicate that Mr. Kalich has sort of contacted you nonstop. You said he sent you 250 texts regarding, is it payment or?
No, Your Honor. Not only did he send the 250, that was my original complaint, then he added another, I don't know, I have a total of 51 pages at this point of unwanted text messaging. It had to do with he felt like he was in love with my niece, rambling about my batshit crazy mother. A lot of rambling. I think he needs some evaluations done personally, and I have requested that.
And looking at the nature of those texts, you know, I was having a difficult time trying to figure out exactly what the conversation was. So you indicate it was about your niece?
And some of it was about my niece. I think that's
and then I also saw the things about your mom.
And then wanting to take over the Weaver dynasty. Pretty bizarre behavior.
What's the Weaver dynasty?
We have, my folks have several properties that they rent out, and I manage properties, so I have a large number of management contracts in place, and I had been hiring him to work on some of the projects we had. And
Okay.
so he seems to think that it's a dynasty. I don't know.
Right. I saw the language in there. I wasn't sure if it was a television show or what it was. Okay. So I couldn't tell in the texts that had been submitted as evidence. Did at some point you tell Mr. Kalich you did not want him contacting you?
Yes.
And where in that 200, and I don't mean specifically where, but how many texts after you said no more contact, how many times did he contact you?
In group texting, let me look here. He started texting 5 of us. And let me look and see where I pretty much, he started threatening, talking about if something happened tonight, it would be our fault because we had given him keys to a rental unit to do work. That's what began the high concern. Let's see, it would have been on the 16 pages that he sent directly to me. I asked him on October, would have been let me look for the date, October 5th. I had suggested that what he was sending me was not appropriate and that he probably should start attending some meetings. He continued with that until we hit I asked him to meet me the following Monday as I was out of town at the time. And then on October 11th, he apologized. Between the 12th and the 13th, he sent another probably 70 texts. I told him I'd meet him on Monday at the office. Then he continued with texting, and I asked him to stop that kind of behavior. I'd appreciate it if he would please stop. That would have been on the 13th of October. He continued until, I don't know, probably 7 o'clock that night. I ignored the text messages, and then he began texting all 5 in our group. Let me see if that was the same evening. I believe it was, because he went till 1 o'clock in the morning. That was on the 13th. Yeah, he started in on our group text right after 7 o'clock, and then went to 2 o'clock the following morning.
Right. Okay, and then some of the language in those texts, I'm assuming you're here because you perceive the language as threatening.
Correct.
Physical harm.
Correct.
Mr. Kalich?
Yes.
Anything you want to say?
Oh, yeah. So, first of all, there's nothing threatening in there. As you can see, the worst thing that was threatening is a hypothetical that if something had happened to the 13-year-old girl tonight, then they would have been at fault, which of course she would have, since she already fired me. And to put in writing that the reason she fired me was because I'm unsafe around her customers, even though I had never been unsafe around her customers, but only had at that point texted Donna some concerns of mine in a very, albeit very, foul language way. Okay. So, then I proceeded to work for, and by the way, I should say, Donna, I don't actually work for her. I work for her dad. So since I have worked for Donna in the past, but since this whole episode began, I started working for her parents, and her parents paid me, her dad paid me, and then I started working for her dad and Donna's sister, Diane, and Donna's sister paid me. And currently, all the work I've been doing was for Donna's dad and Donna's sister, Diane, and which I thought was bizarre that Donna fired me, since she never wasn't the one that hired me, and I don't have any contract with Donna at all. In any case, so I was upset with Donna because of she knew my political stances that are very, very adamantly against Trump, and she knew her parents were avid Trump supporters, and she should have known that that was probably potentially not a great situation, and maybe some discussion should have been had about it. I should have had the foresight to discuss it. I will agree with that. I thought I could get through it without mentioning politics. Now, all this to say, so everything was going fine with the Weavers till I met the Shanna, who's a 44-year-old alcoholic with 2 kids. Now, she's a very nice person, but immediately after getting involved with Shanna, then I started, she was lying to everybody about her alcoholism, which was really concerning to me, especially because it's such a close-knit family. So that meant that because I was working for all of them, I in turn was lying to all of them about my concerns about her alcoholism and covering it up. In any case, all this came to a head because of Shanna and her alcoholism, and then me making the poor decision to start drinking. And so one night I was frustrated at Donna because of getting me into this situation, especially because of not warning me about her 44-year-old alcoholic niece that was single. And so anyway, and I understand I'm an adult and I make my own decisions, but yet it seems like the communication was lacking. Now, after Donna, I texted Donna. She was away, said I'll meet you with you the following Monday. Meanwhile, I don't know what she's referring about all the texts in the meantime prior to the 13th, because if she's including texts to Shanna, that's between Shanna and myself. Okay, so the 13th, I meet with Donna in the morning, and she gives me the record of text that I had sent her, and then gives me a letter saying she fired me in writing, and it's for being unsafe around the customers. I told Donna that morning, and then she says, but we expect you to finish the current jobs you're on. Now, I know that Donna doesn't even know about the current jobs because she's not even the manager of the current jobs, much less the owner. So I thought that was ironic, but I told Donna that, Donna, you already trust me right now to go work for your customers. Otherwise, you wouldn't have me be working for your customers. And she acknowledged that, and then we moved on. Okay, so I go there, and I knew what none of the Weavers knew about this. What happened over the weekend was the renter had moved in. So I get there after this meeting with Donna, and the renters in Unit A were there, and they said, hey, by the way, there's a 13-year-old girl in the house, in the unit. And I'm thinking to myself, there is no way I'm going to go into a unit with a 13-year-old girl in it, especially after I've been fired by Donna in writing that being unsafe around customers. So even though I had a key and had verbal permission, or excuse me, permission in writing from the tenant, that I was the only one that knew that moved in, except Billy knew, but nobody talks to each other around here. Billy's Donna's daughter, who's the rental manager. So in any case, I knock on the door, and thankfully it's a public place, and then because and that's the other thing that made me mad, is because nobody told me there was going to be a 13-year-old daughter in there, because nobody knew, because nobody knows what's going on with the Weavers. So I was blindsided by it, but I would have used my key to walk in, because the 13-year-old I knocked, and the 13-year-old girl didn't respond. So I would have used my key to walk in there. That would have been, I mean, I wouldn't have done anything, but just the optics of it are not a situation I want to be in. So anyway, later on, I had outside work. I didn't enter the house. Was in contact. And by the way, okay, so I should back up. I told Donna at the meeting, the real problem was I was worried about Shanna's alcoholism. I wanted assurance from her family. They were going to get involved, put some accountability in her life, because she drives regularly drunk with kids in the car. So
okay, so let me just get you focused here, Mr. Kalich. The complaint is that Ms. Smith says she's, in her mind, made clear to you she wants you to stop contacting her, and yet she receives voluminous numbers of texts from you subsequent to that. Talk to me about that.
So what I wanted from her, and I was pretty clear about it, is an assurance. I told the family I wanted an assurance from them that they're going to provide some accountability for Shanna's drinking, because as far as I knew, she was going to be drinking and driving on Wednesday night at soccer, after soccer. So when they called the sheriff on me that night, the sheriff, and I figured, well, I had left them alone during the course of the day. Then I find that I had missed a call from the sheriff. So I figured if there's a problem, anyway, try to be succinct. Okay. Called the sheriff back, and she said, yeah, I told them about the key policy. That was the other thing I haven't got to, that they should just be changing the locks. That should be their policy.
Why do you keep contacting Ms. Smith? Just tell me that.
Because I wanted assurances from them that they were going to do two things. One, provide some accountability for Shanna's drinking, and two, change their policy on renters and locks and stuff like that. I'm sorry. Okay. And then since nobody was giving me either one of those assurances, I just kept going. And since I had not received a restraining order, which I kept telling her is really easy to do, and since they had not blocked me, and I figured they're probably at this point leaving it open so I can, because none of the stuff I had said was at all condemning towards me, but it was condemning towards them, I just kept going. And then when Donna finally said there's a restraining order, I think that was Wednesday. And then I sent one last thing. No, two things. One was an apology letter. The other was apology / explanation letter. The other was a video. And then I got the restraining order, and I was accidentally excuse me, I was copying and pasting the letter to show a friend. I accidentally recopied it and pasted it on the same thread with the 5 Weavers. And that was the last contact. Then the sheriff called me and said, hey, you just did that. And I said, yes, you're right. I apologize. That was an accident. And I haven't contacted the Weavers since, except for the people that are not in the order who owe me money, which is Gene and Diane. So I've been trying to get a hold of them because right now this whole thing is being completely devastating because I was scheduled to work for the Weavers for the next couple months, and then all of a sudden Donna's having this hissy fit. And so anyway, I don't have any desire to contact Donna whatsoever. And then now Billy has a restraining order against me in Grace Harbor County Court, all because of this misunderstanding that Donna could have handled by just talking to me.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, when I talked to the sheriff said she recommended not contacting the Weavers. I'll acknowledge that. But she also said that it was my responsibility to call the sheriff on Shanna for a wellness check for her kids. And so that's the reason I kept contacting them. Is I said, I'm going to call the sheriff as she recommended on Wednesday, unless I get assurances from you that you guys are going to make sure that she's not drinking and driving. And that's when Donna finally said to quit talking to her and that they'll take care of it. Or it's none of my business, I guess, to be more precise.
All right. Okay, listening to the two of you, it seems clear to me that Ms. Smith had made a request subtly at first, but then a bit more direct into this whole communication pattern to have you not reaching out to her. And then you felt obligated because of your belief about what you needed to do regarding Shanna.
And the advice of the sheriff, 2 sheriffs.
Okay, but regardless, you continue to violate Ms. Smith's request. So I am going to enter the protection order. You're to have no contact with Ms. Smith at all in any form. So take her off any thread that you have. Do not send her any text. Don't include her on any text. And you're not to go within 1,000 feet of her workplace, or her home. And Ms. Smith, this order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you want it renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed.
Thank you. Could we ask that he have all of our cell phone numbers deleted from his phone? Is that something we could do?
No, I can't do that. And the only person who's a petitioner on this order is you. So I can't make any order regarding anybody else if they are not a minor child of yours. And I don't think I've heard anything about any minor children. So
none.
But Mr. Kalich understands he's not to have any contact with you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kalich.
Thank you.
And orders are available to each of you if you contact the court.
Thank you.
Yep. Mario Stevenson, Sheena Picken. Both stand, raise your right hands for me, please. Swear that testimony in this case be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Mr. Stevenson, you indicate that you and Ms. Picken were our neighbors?
Yes.
Okay, and that you have had relations in the past?
Yes.
Okay, and you indicate that at some point Ms. Picken broke into your house, meaning she entered your house without your permission?
Yes.
When did that happen?
While I was in the hospital, having surgery done.
When was that?
July.
So July of this year?
Yes.
Okay, and You say she's telling people, making false statements about you.
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure you understand that's something we can't do anything about. People can say whatever they want about other people. So whether it's true or not, we don't have the ability to regulate that unless it reaches a point of legal liability called defamation. Then, but this is not the process for addressing that. So most of us just have to turn a deaf ear to mean things that people say about us. Okay. Since the incident in July, you said that Ms. Picken reaches out to you and continues to contact you. Is that accurate?
Yes, she's continued to harass me.
Okay, tell me about that.
Since July, I've been verbally harassed. Whenever she sees me in the common area, like the kitchen, or speaking with staff.
So the two of you live in the same
apartment complex, yes.
Okay, but have different apartments.
Right.
Okay.
And has shown up at my front door, knocking and proceeded to cuss me out. Has taken my mail and put it in urine, which I have with me today. Has repeatedly made comments not only about me or to me, but as well to staff about me. I have statements.
Okay, so remember, I can't do anything about what she says. So just tell me about the contact with you.
So, yeah, it's been ongoing. It's been daily.
When was the last time you heard from her?
A week and a half ago, when I went into the kitchen and laundry area to check to see if there were any washers open, I was speaking with another resident, referring to them taking up all the washers, and came around the corner. She was in there in the laundry room, and I said something along the lines, "You guys take up all the washers," and she had let me know that she had. And there's on the 20th, she was out. The way our apartment complex is, she was kind of by the neighbor's house, but in front of my window, with her dog, being loud, hovering. On the 27th of September, she had entered the building, called me a bitch, and as I was walking away, I told her to stop talking to me like that, and I dropped my mail, and she picked it up in front of staff and put it in dog urine.
Okay.
It's just been, every time she sees me, just about has something to say.
Say directly to you?
Yes. And about a week ago, I was standing outside with staff, and her and another resident had returned from wherever they came from, saw me, and proceeded to call me the N-word and a rapo. And staff addressed them and told them that they needed to stop. And the other resident said he didn't care and proceeded to call me such names.
Okay, well, let's just talk about what Ms. Pickens says.
Okay. And yeah, outside of that, it's just been whenever she sees me and has a chance, she has something negative to say, calling me out of my name or addressing me as such.
And first of all, is it Pickin or Pickens?
It's Pickens.
S.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pickens, go ahead.
He's lying. I haven't talked to him in over 2 weeks. And what I say to staff is none of his business, honestly. And I don't stand outside his window. I've knocked on his door one time because he attacks my spirituality, and I don't like that very much. But other than that, I have not spoke to that man because he did assault me when I was drugged last year. And I told staff about it, and another staff member gave him that information, which was not okay. But I don't talk to him. I am the one that sits in my house all the time because he's outside talking shit about me with his friends and stuff. And that's cool. He can say whatever the hell he wants. He just went. I just want
Let's
him
watch
to,
your language.
I really just want him to leave me alone, Judge. I just want him. I asked him when I stopped being friends with him, please just leave me alone.
Okay. When was the
Don't
last
stalk
time?
me.
When was the last time you said anything to Mr. Stevenson?
Over 2 weeks ago, in the 20th, I had a doctor's appointment that day, and I fell asleep because I had a panic attack. So I literally passed out.
So this is a week ago today. So on the 20th of October.
20th, I had a doctor's appointment that day, and when I was coming home, I panicked, and I had a really bad panic attack, and I literally fainted.
Mm-hmm.
I got to my bed, and I fell out, and I don't remember nothing after that until I got up.
But is that the day you contacted Mr. Stevenson?
I know, and that's what I'm saying. He's lying. I never contacted him. David was the one that said something to him. I didn't say nothing. I just went upstairs and fell out of my bed. My door unlocked and everything.
Okay, when was the last time you had contact with Mr. Stevenson?
A while ago. The last time I had contact with him was the day I put his mail in piss. That's the only time I called him a bitch. That was it. And then he proceeded to call me a hoe.
Okay.
And all kinds of stuff. So
And when do you think that occurred?
it was like 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago?
Probably longer. I don't exactly know the dates. I know the 20th. I didn't say nothing to him.
And what happened in July? Did you enter his place without his permission?
I asked Shane, the person that was in charge of his place, if I could go in. I wanted to check something. And I found my stuff that he sold, said he did not steal in his apartment.
Okay. So you went in without Mr. Stevenson's permission. You got.
The door was unlocked. Shane said I could go in real quick.
Shane is.
His friend.
Okay. But you didn't have Mr. Stevenson's permission to go in.
He was in jail. He was in the hospital. I had no way to ask him.
Okay. Right. But you went in without his permission.
Yeah, but I didn't break in.
Oh, okay.
I would never do that. That's his. That's what he
Okay.
does, not me. I don't even mess with him at all. I don't want to. I just want him to leave me alone. That's all I want. Just for him to forget I exist.
I think he's asking for the same thing.
But I already have.
Okay.
Don't say anything to him. I have no reason to. I don't like him. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Every time I come outside with my dog, which I don't do anymore, he comes outside. Every time he hears my voice out his window or sees me on his camera, he comes outside and stares at me. He stares up in my window. I have people tell me every time they come over that he's staring at my window. Why is Rio outside staring at your window? Every time someone leaves my house, he goes to them and tries to talk to them. That does not show me stalking him. That shows him stalking me.
All right. Thank you.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Since the day we stopped talking, pretty much, when I came out of the hospital, she said she can do without me in her life. Said if our friendship isn't worth working on, then I'm gone. I walked out that door and didn't look back. I've left her alone. I've ignored her. And when she's proceeded to address me and everything, I've taken the proper steps, let staff know, documented it. And due to the fact that I haven't been left alone and continually harassed, I reluctantly, we're here.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
And have documentations and everything if needed to present.
You both have been sitting here telling me you don't want the other to contact you.
Right.
You both are making the exact same statement here. So we're going to try it that way. I'm going to deny the request for a court order, but you both have very publicly stated you don't want the other person to contact you. So Ms. Pickens, no contact with Mr. Stevens. This is not a court order, but he's made very clear he doesn't want you to say anything directly to him. And Mr. Stevenson, Ms. Pickens has made clear that she doesn't want you to say anything to her. Now, as I've told you both, I can't do anything about what is said about you to other people. That's of course not a good thing to do, but I can't get the court involved in that. But I would strongly urge you both to just leave each other alone. As Ms. Pickens says, pretend each other don't exist. Okay. And don't ever enter into somebody else's property with residence without their personal permission, not permission of somebody else. That's not appropriate. All right, I've denied the order. Hopefully the two of you can figure out how to exist in that area where you don't have contact with one another. If you want a copy of the denial order, you can wait for it. Otherwise, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Stephen Paris, just denied. And both of you raise your right hands for me. Swear that testimony in this case be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Okay, you may have a seat. Mike. And Paris, you've indicated that Mr. Hyde has made threats of violence towards you and your family.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that you found out he'd driven to your house. You said he was driven intoxicated, but nonetheless, you said he drove to your house and took pictures of your house as proof that he was there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this happened on the 15th of October?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what's the nature of the dispute here? What's going on?
So at approximately 19:17 at night, my friend Amber, who is his ex-girlfriend, but she is a friend of mine that I've known for 8 years because her ex-husband and I served in the military together. She gives me a call saying, "Heads up, my ex-boyfriend is on his way to your house. Apparently he found out where you lived by running a background check on you." I asked her for some clarity on this because I don't know the individual and I haven't spoken to Amber in quite a few months since we moved here. She said that she went to a Lacey Costco, but apparently had been ignoring his text messages because he's an ex-boyfriend. So he was getting pissed off and messaging her ex-husband, who she lives with, saying, "I think she went to go see that guy you told me about." So he got my name from her ex-husband, ran a background check on my family, found my address, confirmed it with her ex-husband, and said that he was going to make his way to my house. But before he did that, he stopped at her house because she's trying to have a baby with in vitro fertilization, and he got some stuff for the baby. So her ex-husband and her put all the baby stuff in their back porch, and he was apparently yelling, banging on their windows, whatever. But her ex-husband, who is an alcoholic, says that he knows a drunk when he sees one and that he is clearly intoxicated. Amber was texting his daughter, and his daughter confirmed that, yes, there are open containers within his room.
Okay.
So he then drove from her house to mine, and she said that he's drunk and he might be armed. I don't know if he is, but be precautious. I sent my family away to a local police station, and I waited outside my house across the street for him to actually pull up. He was sending text message photos while he was driving of his GPS showing that he was indeed en route to my house, 15 minutes out, 10 minutes out. I waited for him to arrive to my front door. I then walked back from across the street. At this point, I do currently have my sidearm on me because I do not know if this gentleman is armed or not. So he takes a photo of him at my front door. I come around the corner and I ask him, what is he doing on my property? He says, were you here? Were you with Amber today? I see a phone in one hand and I don't see what's in his other hand as he's going for his pocket. I pull out my sidearm and I have it to my side. This is only a show of intimidation because I don't want him actually pulling something out on me while he's in the shadow of my house. I ask him, what's he doing at my house? He repeats again, I just want to know if you were with Amber today. And I told him no, and to get the hell out of my property. He drives off. I keep my family at a distance until I get confirmation that he has either returned home or where he's no longer in the city of Lacey, where he is 45 minutes away from his house. I contact the police several times, and they say that all they can do is kind of just write up an incident report. Not much we can do on it unless he genuinely makes a threat to your life. The second time the police officers came, I actually asked for an in-person officer so I could talk to them. In the process of us talking with this officer, he is calling Amber that she has him blocked, so she's not being notified while she's on the phone with us that he is calling, and he leaves her a voicemail. Her voicemail is set to write it out, and for people that are hard of hearing, and it states, I'm still trying to understand what you see in that little lawn gnome looking motherfucker. If he hadn't had a gun, I would have put him in the garden where he deserves to be, put him in a cute little fucking hat. Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So those are the contacts you've had with Mr. I in this case.
In this case, yes. And then we get like a Ring doorbell cam footage of him going back to Amber's house, banging on the window saying, I'm going to go to your friend's house and I'm going to make him pull the trigger.
Okay. So was this after the
initial physical interaction between him and myself? After that, he left, went back to her house, banged on her window, said he's going to come back to my house to make me pull the trigger. But we already had to call the police. We had then got confirmation not too long after that from his daughter that he actually did go back home and he stayed home for the night.
And when did he make the call?
To our friend Amber to leave that voicemail. See, the voicemail was left on her phone at 12:57 a.m. We were currently speaking with an officer in my house at that exact moment too.
And at that point, you believe he had returned home?
At that point, we got confirmation by Amber, who was on the phone with us, that she had got a text message from his daughter saying that he is home again.
Okay. So he left your house, went back to her house, knocked on the door, said the things he said into the Ring camera. Then he went home. You have confirmation he is home, and then he calls and leaves this message.
He left the voicemail after he left her house the second time, saying he was going to come back here and make me pull the trigger. Because he went home before, then left again, and then when he went back home, we were on edge of being like, is he actually going to stay home or is he leaving?
And did you provide law enforcement the
I provided
transcript of the
I provided law enforcement all the I printed off all the screenshots of what he was sending her ex-husband and the screenshot of the voicemail, as well as I gave them the incident numbers that we were requesting as just proof that we were making calls throughout the night of the same incident.
Okay. And to your knowledge, have they done anything as far as an investigation goes?
No, because so Lacey Police Department says that the crime has to happen in Lacey for them to do something. Puyallup Police Department says that it's a matter of where the victim is. So even though he made that threat in Puyallup, they can't do anything and Lacey can't do anything. The only way we'd be able to get something done is if we went to the county sheriff.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ide, I'll hear from you. And before you say anything, the evidence or the statements that Mr. Paris is talking about could potentially form the basis for a criminal charge of harassment, which is a threat to do harm or kill. So whether it's made directly to the person or otherwise, it might be actionable by a criminal charge. So you need to understand that you've been placed under oath. I'm, willing to hear from you. You may want to be very careful about anything you say because you don't have a lawyer right now. And if you had a lawyer, doesn't sound like there's any charges being contemplated at this point by any prosecutor's office, but that doesn't necessarily mean it stays that way. So I want you to be understanding of that. You have any question about that?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
I would like to apologize to Mr. Paris for involving him in my dispute with Miss Vanderbilt. It's unfortunate that that happened. Secondly, I would like to say that I was not intoxicated when I went down to his house. That is speculative, and there is no evidence in that. I am okay with granting him a no contact order for 1 year. That does not bother me. I had 2 questions to ask him. I asked, and I left his house. That was it.
All right.
I have no reason to contact him or anybody in his family ever again.
I may, Your Honor, we're also pursuing this restraining order because his ex-girlfriend has said that he has a history of making threats to people to get reactions out of her or to get her to reach out to him.
Okay. All right. Mr. Ide's response in apologizing to Mr. Paris, one, I appreciate he did that, and two, I take it as an acknowledgement that he understands that following through in the manner that he did, it could be seen as threatening or harassing by going to somebody else's house who is not involved at all, at least currently in any situation involving Mr. Ide. And the subsequent comments, both on the Ring doorbell and on a voice message that was left with Ms. Vanderloot, are indeed threatening and harassing. I will grant Mr. Paris's full protection order for the next year under the exact conditions that I had entered the temporary protection order. Mr. Ide, you're to have no contact with Mr. Paris, his wife, the 2 children he has. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of them, their residence, or Mr. Paris's vehicle. And Mr. Paris, if you want this order renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed after a year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to provide Mr. Paris a copy of the order, Mr. Ide, since he's present in court. If you wish a copy, you can contact the court and have it sent to you via email.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you both. And Mr. Paris, just sit tight, we'll get you a copy.